I'm just kidding. We're not going to make you wait 30 extra seconds to start the show. Welcome to 1 hour, one brain cell. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a brand new month of 1 hour, one brain cell. Because by the time you listen or watch this, it is indeed the month of May. I am joined by my co host, Jordan, who is debuting a brand new segment on the show a little bit later on. So stay tuned. That's called a tease.
It may be very temporary. We are. I'm also. I have to say, you got me really good with that open, because I was like, God, if I have to wait 30 seconds for this, I'm gonna walk out of the room and go get more water while this happens. And I was thinking about it, and I came up with this that I'll just introduce you then as the master of the rich roll, because it's not a Rick roll; it has to be a rich roll.
The rich roll, I like that. I just realized that my audio is not plugged in, so that's cool. So I'm running off my AirPods for just a second. So hang on, everybody. We're gonna do this in live time. We're gonna turn on my microphone because it's not even turned on. So okay, so here we go. There's that. If I come over this is great. There it is.
You started out. There you go.
There we go.
You started out really good too, because your video is videoing at the moment, which is new and exciting.
I can't do both at once.
This is perfect.
I apparently can't have good audio and good video at the same time. So now that I actually remember to turn my damn mic on, maybe we're in for a good show today.
He's gonna go down.
We got a banger of a show today, ladies and gentlemen. Full disclosure, at about, I don't know, probably 9 p.m. Jordan's time or so yesterday evening, we had nothing in the document to talk about. We were like, what do we do? What are we going to talk about? We got nothing. 12 hours later, there's like 15 things in the document to get around to and talk about. It's going to be a ridiculous show. So thank you for joining us.
We are masters of last minute preparation, which you should know about us at this point.
Ain't that the truth? Thank you to everybody who watched our Tortured Poets Department breakdown. There's somebody commented on our YouTube page, which was cool, I guess. Thank you to that person. Shout out. And make sure to follow us anywhere you can get your social media at OHOBC Pod. The memes are going to be coming in strong this week, ladies and gentlemen. The memes are going to be coming in strong. All right. Let's see. I'm just going to go in order on the rundown because that's the easiest, even though it's not going to make a lick of sense to anybody watching, but that's totally okay. All right. It is now time once again for another edition of Richie's Letterboxd Corner. So let's bring up my Letterboxd account and tell you what I watched this week. I will preface this by saying I went to the AMC theaters across the street from my house yesterday. I walked over there. Nice little walk across the street. Great weather. Nice. I was listening to the new 21 Pilots singles that have been out on my walk over there. Terrific. And turns out I was the only person in this theater.
No way.
Yes, I was the only person in the theater.
I love that. It's such a fun experience to be the only person in a theater.
And I had I was sitting kind of near the front too. So if somebody showed up, I had no idea if they were sitting behind me, but I'm pretty sure I was the only one there. It was great. I went to see Challengers. And when I got there originally, not only was I the only person in the theater, but the theater folks forgot to turn off the house lights. So I get there during the preview section and I'm like, these lights aren't supposed to be on. Luckily I was smart enough to go be like, hey, lights are on. They came in, they turned them off. So we were all set for the movie. And Challengers, starring Zendaya, of course. Let's see who else is in the movie. Zendaya. We
Doesn't matter.
have
Doesn't matter.
yeah.
We got
Doesn't
Zendaya
matter.
done. Done.
Done.
Doesn't
That's it.
matter.
Zendaya, Mike Feist, and Josh O'Connor are the stars of the movie.
Hmm.
Directed by uh, Luca Guadagnino.
Bless you.
Is that right? Close.
I don't know. Don't look at me. I literally had to put in the search bar, how do you spell M. Night Shyamalan? There's a Y in it. Don't ask
M
me.
Night M Night Shyamalan. Um,
Shyamalan.
all right, so I give the movie 4.5 stars, and
Wow. And
this was my
just for everybody, that's impressive because Richie doesn't
yes.
like to give high ratings on Letterboxd.
Yes, exactly. Like it's got to be that good to get this high rating. So here's my review. Now I call this review my boy math review. It literally makes no sense except to myself, but that's totally okay. I made myself laugh. Okay.
Sure.
Um, Zendaya plus 1 million. We're keeping score here. Trent
Valid.
Reznor score plus 750,000 plus 750,000. Excellent.
Valid. Hmm.
Sexual tension plus 33.
That's an arbitrary number, but go for it.
Yeah, yeah. Random locker room eggplant emoji? Question mark. Minus 600,000. Way down the
And
list when we get
you
that.
were sitting in the front row too. You got like giga eggplant emoji. Yikes.
Yeah,
But
not great. Not great.
you were warned beforehand, I believe.
Thank God. Yes, thank
Okay.
goodness. Now I think everybody. I think you, Corey, and Kat, all three of you know this about me now. I do not like when there is um nudity of a certain kind in my films. Okay, so I get jump scared every time
Saltburn.
there is. Yes, Saltburn. Exactly. That's why I refuse to
Right.
watch Saltburn.
Saltburn.
So,
Yep.
so I like to be forewarned if there isn't some in the movie. Now, luckily, Kat put this in her review on Letterboxd, and I texted her. I was like, "Thank you for telling me. Now I'm prepared for this." So I was
Right.
prepared, and I was a locker room scene, and I was like, "Oh, this is stupid," and I was like, "This scene there, like, no, no."
Unsolicited nudity is a minus 10,000 in Richie's films.
Yeah, minus 600,000 exactly. So, with all that said, I gave my final score was 4.5 out of 5.
All right. That's really
Highly
well done.
recommend.
Yeah. I've seen really good things. I've also seen really funny things. I've been stalking the Letterboxd reviews about it. And I texted you this earlier this week, but I was like, thank you for getting me into Letterboxd because now I like being too active on Letterboxd. Um, some of these reviews are hysterical, and it was like there was one I forget who posted it, and I don't have the exact quote, but I saw that Kat had liked it. But it was like taking your bisexual partner to see this movie is like standing in traffic and waiting to be hit. It's like bet sold. Say less. Um, and I also have on the show notes that you haven't seen this yet, but I have a tweet that I was gonna gauge your reaction on.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it does have to do with challengers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll read this. This is a quote. It's from at Captain Riles on Twitter. We're not calling it X. And it says, my parents and I used to watch movies together all the time, but after the Saltburn incident, the tradition died. I've been trying to break the awkward tension for a while, and we finally got tickets to see our first movie in months. This one should be safe enough. It's just about tennis.
Oops.
Whoops. And I think in an alternate universe, you would have sent that tweet.
Yeah, that
Just it
sounds
felt
that's
on brand. Yeah.
exactly. I said the same thing about Love Lies Bleeding too. Another
That's
terrific
true.
movie.
Yeah.
I said the same thing. I sent Kat a screenshot of some Letterbox reviews about the movie that I want to read to you real quick because they're terrific.
Please do.
A 4.5 star review. If you see my two boyfriends in the sauna together, do not inbox me. I already know. 4 star review. Came for tennis balls, left with blue balls. 5 star review. I felt this movie feeling like I could run a freaking marathon. Another 5-star review. No, because that freaking score, I need it playing in my head 24/7. I agree. It's like legit that good. It's so good.
I've heard
Trent
it's really,
Reznor.
really good. Yeah.
Trent Reznor is incredible. It was so good, Jordan. When I tell you this, when I left the movie, that's what I was listening to on my walk back to my apartment. I was like, I'm gonna play that second score, and it was badass. It's so good.
I have a sneaking suspicion that's going to find its way onto your running playlist.
Yes, it is. Yes, there's a few on
Yeah.
there that will be. Finally, 3 stars. Sometimes a churro is just a churro. This is not one of those times.
I'm confused, but this isn't for me to know, I guess. So all of
Yeah, you
our
just gotta see the movie
challengers,
to get the
enjoyers,
context.
podcasts. Yeah. My favorite one, and I forget what stars they gave it, but it said, "May thy racket chip and shatter." Just to keep that going, because I don't think we should ever let that die.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Hmm.
All right, so that's my letterbox corner for the week. I understand that you also have one. So, what
I
did you
do.
see this week that you would like to discuss on the program?
I saw the First Omen, which I don't. We'll probably post this. We'll post this on the brand account. But but there were some posters up, and I think it was Los Angeles, and somebody had gone through and scratched off or blacked out strategically. What did I get? No, we haven't had bingo in a lot of episodes.
We have bingo. We got bingo finally.
What did you put
It
down?
took 3 months to do it. Which cup are you drinking from today?
Ow. See, you
Yeah.
had said that on an earlier episode. You were like, I think you figured that one out. I thought it was going to be the Julian Baker mug, so I haven't had that one on set in months. Whatever. Now I can just freely choose my drinking
Finally.
implement.
Yes, now it's
Yeah.
over. It took me 3 damn months to
Congratulations.
do it. But
Congratulations,
finally
Richie.
got bingo.
You might be
did
the
it.
worst bingo player I've ever met, but congratulations.
You were actually 100% correct. Drinks from JB Coffee Mug is also on here.
I knew it. It was for sure going to be on
There's
there.
actually one on here that I'm pretty sure you've done that I just forgot to scratch off too.
Which is?
I put calls me bestie on there, but I don't. You had to have done
That's
that.
That's probably happened. Yeah, it's at least some variation of that. Anyway, all right, returning
back
to
on track.
back on track temporarily. We are never on track on this podcast, but somebody had taken the promotional advertisements for this movie and blacked out or scratched off the letters. So instead of the first Omen, it said the first MF. And I think that's the funniest thing. For no particular reason, it just is. So we've been jokingly calling it that in the show notes and such. This is it's a horror movie first and foremost, and it is a prequel. Yeah, it's a prequel. It's a prequel to The Omen, which came out first in 1976. It has Gregory Peck in it, who we talked about very briefly last episode because I saw Roman Holiday. And The Omen had a pretty bad, objectively, 2006 remake. They missed out this time. I would like to highlight this, but they missed out this time because what they did with the 2006 release is they released it on June 6th, 2006, which, like, clever, right?
666.
Exactly. But they missed out on this because they could have released it on June 6th because 6 of 24, which would be 2 plus 4, because, like, this is Swifty math, you guys. Everything adds up to 13. Come on, marketing team, like, hit me up. I'm available. Now, female lead, female director, more of this. It was fantastic. It was really pretty good. There was a lot of tension in it. It was more of an atmospheric horror, I would say, than a lot of things have been lately. And it didn't feel like a cash grab remake. Like, I would say that The Exorcist Believer was more of like a cash grab remake that was like, take this recognizable brand and franchise, have another iteration. And you were like, okay, I guess. This one was not like that. There was really, really good physical acting. There was some body horror, which I think, if I read, they wanted to make it NC-17 and they pushed back on it and got it rated R or whatever. So trigger warning for that. But I don't know. I guess there was also locker room centric body horror and challengers as well. So you can just leave that. But very well executed, refreshingly so for like today's horror landscape where most movies are just like, here, have a jump scare. And you're like, okay. And you're like, have another one. You're like, no. So it was well done, built up. I will read some of the Letterboxd reviews, including my own 4-star review, which I believe just says, oh no, I lost it. My Letterboxd tab closed. Help. Mom, come pick me up. I'm scared. Okay. 4 stars. A well-executed prequel in this economy, which you liked and then someone random also liked. So I felt validated by that. But some of them are really, really funny. I love a humorous Letterboxd review. And it was like, this is a quote, "We're going to get one of these every week until Roe v. Wade is reinstated, aren't we?" Referring to like religious, nun-centric women's pro-choice horror, which also Immaculate came out this year. So those two are being very
big year for
compared.
nuns. Big year for nuns.
Big year for nuns in horror films. And then this one says, better than Immaculate. Graciously, and then like in asterisks, graciously DMs Sydney Sweeney and offers her a shoulder to cry on. And then this one just says, when in Rome, don't go to Rome. So that's a review from me. I would encourage you to go see it if you like horror movies. Give this one a shot.
I'm the last horror movie I saw was I don't know. I actually can't remember.
You won't have it logged on your Letterboxd, but let's see. I'm in the network. I've hacked into the system.
See, Megan. I saw Megan, but that was like a year and a half ago.
Megan, no.
Which is actually fairly.
Oh, that's easy. No, that's easy. I'm in your Letterboxd right now.
Yeah.
The last horror movie you saw, it says, was Madam Web in 2024. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Her web connects us all.
Yes, it does.
It's out on streaming now. You can watch it. You can rent it, I think.
Oh, I'm definitely going to subject some people to that this week at work. On the Fire Stick, I'm putting that on. Want to watch something else? That sucks. We're playing Madam Web all day, all week. Her web connects us all. Get with it. Menace to society.
The producers are gonna come find you and they're gonna be like, who is this person that has watched Madame Web 10 times this week?
Yeah, where's my promotional gift box for being a Madame Web enjoyer? I want like my silly branded tote bag and sunglasses. Like, where's my promo box? Hit me up.
Just here's what you do. You get in touch with them. You said, all I want the screen used Madame Web glasses from the end of the movie.
The glasses. Yes. It's like, I want the glasses. I will not settle until I have the
You're not making a sequel, Sony. Be honest, right. Even though we want it, we're banging at your door to make another one.
You know how often I use prop sunglasses on this podcast? So often. These would get used 100% of the time.
Had those ready.
I had those ready. They're on my desk just for emergency purposes, like break glass in case of emergency.
You are just crushing it today.
Not that it matters. All right, what else do we have to cross off? Because let's just go for
sunglasses. That was sunglasses, yeah.
I really haven't done sunglasses in like months.
Not yet. No. You've been like, I think you were on to me for the longest time.
No, that feels wild to me.
It is. You were on to me for the longest time, and then you were just like,
I was on to you for the first couple of episodes, And then genuinely, I forgot that was a thing that I should be paying attention to. So I just haven't done it on accident. It wasn't avoidant. It was just like, that didn't come up. What was the other one? I needed to call you bestie.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Good job, bestie. Cross that one off.
Yes.
Let's just go for blackout. All right, what's next?
All right. What's next? We have Jordan is a sim racer now, question mark.
That feels generous. I bought a steering wheel. I think we've talked about this on the podcast, but Richie and I are soon to be future teammates in F1 24 career mode, where we're going to take Haas straight to the top.
Hossie and Bio.
Hossie and Bio. I purchased a wheel and pedals. I'm honestly having so much fun with that stupid thing. Like, it shouldn't bring me as much joy as it does. But I had like a full circle kind of self-realization moment the other day that was like, I was driving home from work and I was like, boy, I can't wait to get home and play a driving game. Like, what? So that was an interesting kind of loop. I'm having fun with it though. It is significantly harder, and it may just be because now I've turned off all the assists and I'm deciding to just go hardcore mode with it. Significantly harder, and you know this because you routinely crash out.
I'm terrible.
The tire wear on a wheel, like, you can really feel when it starts to slip and you're like losing grip on your tires. And I almost fist fought my, your race engineer or whatever in the game, because he was like, okay, we can't box for another 2 laps. And I was like about halfway off the track, like mid oversteer, like trying to pull it back. And then he's like, you'll probably start to feel your tires losing grip soon. And I was like, you think? As I'm sideways, it's like, so it's a lot more fun that way, because it's way more immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Is it overkill? Absolutely. I'm not going to be a professional sim racer or join a league or anything. But if you sponsor sim racing products and you're interested in helping out a total novice, I'm here. I'm available. I don't have a PO box, but I can get one. So you just let me know. Anyway, you called it though when you were over here, because I've started using the beanbag chair as like the seat.
Mm-hmm.
So if I take that coffee table and I have it like mounted on the coffee table and then the pedals underneath it, and then I have that like beanbag seat in my living room, it's fine for a setup for right now. I don't need a chair. We're not getting that competitive with it. Plus, then I have to pack that thing up and move it. No, not for me. Too lazy.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, I can't wait until we do our career mode season with Haas, because I'm gonna be a back marker running 17th and 18th the entire time, just like lollygagging, just chilling in the back, running like 6 seconds slower than everybody else.
That's what I've told you. It's like, you can backmark, you can crash all you want, but make sure you crash the people that are going to come get me. That's defense. That's team defense.
So true. It just like K-Mag did earlier this season in real life.
Defending with like 10 seconds of penalties and still managed to not finish last. It was crazy. That's you.
Yes, that's 100% me. Because I have a career mode that I'm playing right now, and the current race that I am playing is the Dutch Grand Prix. And I texted you a couple nights ago when I was playing it. I was like, Jordan, I've crashed 8 times in a row and had to restart the race every time.
Yeah.
Because at
what like length are you playing on? Are you doing like a full length race, or are you doing like a 5-lapper?
No, this is I did it up so that way there has to be a pit stop in it. So I think it's like
just
20%.
Like short.
I think it's 20%. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have immersive pit stop on? Because that's also fun.
No, I don't. Because I think I did it one time and didn't realize I did, and I just I got like a 25-second penalty because I was just like zoom.
That checks out. Just blowing past the pit limiter. It's like whatever.
Yeah, so I was playing the Dutch Grand Prix, and at in the Dutch Grand Prix there is no runoff. So if you
Mhm,
miss a corner, there is sand generally, and so like
mhm.
um I'm terrible on my brakes, which is my entire problem. I'll usually brake too late, and then I'll miss a corner and an apex, and then I'm gonna go off track. And in the Dutch Grand Prix, there's sand, and so I'll hit the sand, and I'll either spin out completely, or um or like lose a bunch of track position and my race is over. So
Do you
I
want
I
my
just need to get
professional advice on that?
I need to get better at braking. Yes, go ahead.
You could say that. I was gonna say just stay on the track. You're welcome. I hope that really helps.
thank thank you. Thank you.
Mm,
I was also doing some like practice laps around Monaco
mhm.
because I was like, I'm just gonna do
Well,
this and just see if it's any good.
well.
No, I had damage off, so it was actually not bad. And then
Oh,
like I
yeah,
was kind of
damage off.
I was finally starting to get the hang of it, I think, finally. And I was like, oh, this is actually still not fun and very, very like taxing and annoying, but at least I did it and I ran a couple clean laps, and so I was like, oh, cool.
All right. You and I, Monaco in the rain, assists off. Good luck. Richie's in the wall at turn
Full,
1.
full damage.
Full damage. Yeah, simulated damage, immersive pit stop, formation lap, manual gearbox.
I will hold on a second.
1v1
I'm
me.
not going to let you off the hook here before we move on either.
Yeah,
Jordan
yeah.
has yet to buy the full game, so she's been racing the
No, I won't buy
same
the full game.
British Grand Prix track for the last 2 months, and that's so
So,
you've become a total expert at that track.
right, I could probably drive that with my eyes closed. No, I refuse to buy the game. I've mentioned this because I'm not buying an older console version of a game when I'm gonna upgrade to the PS5 here fairly soon. That feels dumb to me. I'm just gonna wait and buy the full version of 24 when it comes out with the new console and go from there. That feels like it makes the most sense rather than like spending $20 on a game that I'm only gonna play regularly for like another month.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it is only $20, sometimes if you're on the lookout, Best Buy has a sale. So
Yes, I bought F123 for like $25.
mm,
I was like, and it's great, great buy. I
yeah.
never buy video, and I almost never buy video games all that often. And I was like, I'll buy this one. So
Yeah, I realized like I'm gonna be in it for the console, the game, and an online membership, and I was like, not the $20 game. Probably we'll wait. We'll wait. I am excited though, because like I get jealous when you text me updates and you're like, here's how my career mode is going. So I was like,
mm-hmm,
I would have a fun time with that.
mm-hmm.
I as promised, I think the career mode in 24 is supposed to be pretty immersive and pretty cool. So like fingers
Yeah,
crossed because that
they've
looks fun.
updated it a little bit from
Mm.
23, I think. So yeah, and I was doing some digging the other day, and I'm like 95% sure playing it on an older gen console and a new gen console doesn't matter, as long as you still have, as long as you have the game itself is fine, because you can play like somebody can play on a PlayStation, and somebody can play on an Xbox if they want to. So if you can do that, then you can play
Yeah,
new gen and
most
older gen.
things have crossplay compatibility now, but it's just more so like the backwards compatibility with the games
So
that I was worried
so I gotta
about.
start
So
playing more often, and so here's a lot. My problem is I'm kind of impatient, so I only run like 4 or 5 laps
kind
of
of
practice on each track, and that's just not enough time to get used to the track, right? And so
that's
I'll
true.
do like I'll do the so in the career mode when you're doing practice sessions, not to dive full deeply into it, but they have certain like milestones you need to get. So what I'll do is I'll just
Yep.
run these little program milestones to get the points to go and buy other stuff. And that's about all I'll do. So I won't, do 10 laps of practice sessions. I'm not running 30
Yeah.
laps. I'm running like 6 or 7 laps. It's like I'm ready to go. Let's go, baby. and then
It's
hit
the
the race,
equivalent
and
of
it's
doing like 3 hours of driving and then being like, I can pass my driver's test. You're like, wait, that's not how
exactly.
that
And then I go to
works.
race, and then like I'll put together a clean lap, and then I'll mess up in one turn, and then my lap's over, my race is over. So, but
Mhm.
with all that said, I'm still like 7th in the drivers' championship, and
All
somehow
right.
we're still top. I think we're 5th or 6th in the constructors.
You and your random Dutch teammate,
Yeah.
Dollar Store Max Verstappen.
Yes. Dollars there, Max
Yeah.
Verstappen. So I'm excited. I'm excited to do that, and again, backmark the entire time, and just like lollygag. So,
That'll be fun. That'll be fun. We might have to like record some of this and post it, cross post it for the podcast.
mm-hmm.
Because you guys
Mm-hmm.
seem to really like our karting video, by the way. That one keeps growing. I'm like, just where did that come from? We're at like almost 90 views now, which is wild. But it
All
does make
right.
me feel validated for the work that we put in on doing that video.
Yes.
Staging
Yeah.
that video is a pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm.
doing all that. Richie did a great job with all the B-roll. It was fantastic.
Terrific. And I would just like to point out that I still ran the fastest time in real life. So I will
He did.
take a
Yep.
second.
I can't argue with that. You did a good job.
Mhm. Yep. Racing with the controller, not my jibe. Not very good at it, but running in real life, damn it, I missed my
That's true.
calling.
Maybe racing with a wheel is next for you. Join the family.
Can you imagine if like I did that? And I actually, honestly, I feel like that would, for me, I'd race so much better with the wheel. I feel like
You think
I
so?
would. Yes, absolutely. Because the control, it's just not the same. Controller's just not the same. I'm not very. My fingers aren't very dexterous. Look at this. Look, it doesn't. Look, see that? No,
Yeah,
it doesn't work.
you don't have guitar fingers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not very
Yeah.
dexterous. And then you
Mm.
you were making fun of me because I wasn't. I was too
What?
hard on my steering.
I was making fun of him
Which you
because
can't you
I was
can't
in the
tell, but
other room. I was in the other room and I could hear him going like every time he went around a corner, like just jamming the analog stick into the controller. I'm like, gentle, soft. Like I run a
which is
lap with a controller. You don't hear it.
no, you did. It
The
was
wheel though,
perfect. Exactly.
the wheel is going crazy. It's like I lifted up the corner of my coffee table on accident. I was like, whoa, go back down.
I'd take like 2 weeks off from playing the game because I had a callus on my thumb.
On a
Like,
callus.
yeah,
That's
hardcore, man,
wild. We
hardcore.
take this very seriously, just so you know.
Yes, yes, we do. Yes, we do. All right, let's
Mm.
move on here to our next point, and you're gonna have to explain this to me for the love of goodness. I'm gonna bring up the picture. I didn't look into this
Okay.
like pretty much at all.
Mhm.
So hang on a second. Hang on, ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the incredible nature of this, which is
There we
Cheeseball
go.
Man.
Cheeseball Man 427. So, um, these flyers started popping up around New York City. And it's just a picture of a guy in an orange ski mask, which is like maybe a Tyler Joseph side quest. Uh, but it says, "Watch me eat this entire jar of cheese balls," with a photo of himself with the giant jar of cheese balls. Union Square Park, April 27th, 3 p.m., which, as we record this, was yesterday. Uh, this was initially posted April 19th, so you gave the people a little around a week to get their affairs in order and get to Washington or get to Union Square Park. Um, he is at cheeseballman427 on Instagram if you wanted to see where this came from or follow along. But it did happen. So yesterday, a bunch of people gathered at Union Square Park at 3 p.m. to watch this guy eat an entire jumbo jug of like Utz's cheese balls. There was an opening act, which was like a guy on a bike. Look at this. This is a Renaissance photo. Whoever took this should put it in the Louvre. Like when I first saw this, very seriously debated making it the lock screen on my phone. There's just something about it.
No.
Like it's the human spirit. But all of these people gathered and there was an opening act, which was a guy on a bike that was like balancing a tire on his head he was like just riding circles around the park with a tire on his head, and then eventually it became a trash can with the tire, like a circus act, and it was the warm up for Cheeseball Man. And then Cheeseball Man comes out, and the crowd is gathered around, and they watch him eat this entire jug of cheese balls, down to the very last round orange air puffed ball. It was really a sight to behold. But it is sparking. Look at this. This is footage, I believe. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
what
this is
does
just a
this one
picture
say?
here. Yeah.
FYI, he ate all the cheese balls, and this is like somebody that's live tweeting about the content, which is at Noah Siegel. He ate all the cheese balls, and it definitely wasn't easy. Bro almost hurled. Props to him for sticking it out for the people of NYC and for bringing everyone together. Um, there's like a video from the crowd that's like people chanting, and they were like, "One more ball, final ball," like as it gets down to the cheese balls. Um, so all of it is wonderful, but it is sparking beef, and I'll tell you why. Because apparently, in November of, I thought it was last year, but I fact checked, and apparently it was November of 2022. This dude from South Philly ate 40 rotisserie chickens over the course of 40 days, one a day, an entire rotisserie chicken, and posted similar flyers and was like, "Watch me eat the last chicken. I have eaten a rotisserie chicken on 39 consecutive days," or something. And a bunch of people gathered to watch him eat the last chicken at this like pier in Philadelphia or something. It's so strange. Uh, and this is essentially like the iteration of it today. So it's territorial beef over which like human versus food thing was better. Um, they're both wildly impressive. I have
Mm-hmm.
heard, but I can't confirm, that the cheese balls guy maybe has a gluten allergy and almost vomed during this, but like soldiered through like celiac warrior. Um, and he has promised that there will be a follow up next year. So we know where we need to
How
be
do
April
you?
27th
Yeah.
of
How do you?
2025.
How do you even follow that up?
I'm like, you have to do the same thing but faster. Like I don't know what the next eating challenge is that at Cheeseball Man 427 is preparing for.
What's better
Um,
than one tub of cheese balls? Two tubs of cheese balls.
no, that would actually make me sick in the same way that like this is, oh my god. Richie sent me this and then I just modified it, but it's from the Netflix show Kunk on Earth, which is like Philomena Kunk.
Yeah,
It's this fake
Philomena Kunk.
person.
Yeah,
It's this
Philomena
fake
Kunk.
person, but she like goes and talks to these like historical experts about things and just is satire the entire time,
It's
and
so funny.
it's very my brand of humor.
So good.
I don't know if y'all are familiar, but it would be the one that's like, it's hard to believe I'm walking through the ruins of the first ever city. I'm not. That's in Egypt. And she just pulls all of this out, but it was like, which was more culturally significant, the Renaissance or
Mm,
Beyonce's Renaissance?
No, you have to pronounce it the exact way she does.
No, but
Or else,
I haven't seen this clip, so I don't have.
wait,
Hold
you
on,
haven't seen? Have
I
you
can
not
study.
seen the?
No, I can
Have you
study.
not seen? Have you not seen the entire show?
Well, not all of it, but hold on.
Oh, you missed it.
Hold on.
Yeah, you got to get it
I will
right.
study. I'm preparing. I will study. You distract the people while I study.
Yes, yes. Anyway, yeah, go watch Kung on Earth. It's flippin' hilarious. She did another show too, but I don't think it is on Netflix or in the United States. It's just a BBC thing. But yeah, the reason why I brought this, I wanted to show this is because the way she pronounces Renaissance is just,
Mm-hmm. I got it.
it's
I got it. Are
even
you ready?
better. Yeah.
You ready?
Hmm.
Which was more culturally significant, the Renaissance or Single Ladies by Beyonce?
Yes. The
I was born.
Renaissance.
I was born for this. The Renaissance or Single Ladies? Yeah. She is so funny, and if you're into just that dry British humor, it's elite level. It's top tier humor.
I laughed so hard the entire show. It was so funny.
It
It was
was
one of my
so
favorite
funny.
shows. I don't
Yeah.
know if I think it came out maybe in 2020, like early 2023. And yeah, I cannot recommend it enough. All right.
I just want to know how many takes it took her to do that without breaking character.
Right.
And what's funny is that the people that she's interviewing, and I don't know whether it strikes me as like a between two ferns situation where like the people that she's interviewing have no idea that this is a joke. Either that or they're all really good actors who are also like historical experts. But it strikes me as them not knowing that it's a joke because some of their responses they're just so baffled by the things that she says, and she like is encouraging people to like look into the camera at certain points in time, and they're like, oh, I like so confused because I thought it was just like a sit down interview.
Yeah, I that's a great question. I don't know if it was like a Borat situation where Borat just goes in and he does his thing and nobody knows.
Yeah, like were
Or
they informed that this was a satirical program, or did they expect this to actually be a person and then were just confused when she showed up and started doing a bit the whole time?
I'm trying
I
to.
love that.
I'm looking.
More of
Yeah, I'm
that
looking at the
energy.
Wikipedia page, and I don't see anything like about it. Maybe the IMDb. Let's check IMDb. This is great podcasting, and it's called Richard and Jordan look up things on the internet,
In
stall
the
for
middle of the
time
podcast.
in the middle of the podcast, and then read it to you like we're not even on camera recording anything, and it's terrific. Oh, here we
We
go.
are
First thing on
determined to be
IMDb.
factually correct.
Yes, first thing on
Yeah.
IMDb trivia. All the interviewees were briefed that Kunk was a comedy parody character and were told
Okay.
to treat her like an ignorant child.
Good. I love that. I love that. More of
All
that
the experts
energy.
know it's a mock interview, but are asked to take the questions as seriously as they can, be respectful and not make their own jokes. Most of the experts do laugh during the interview, but these parts were edited out.
Yeah, they gotta cut it. Yeah. I love that. I love that.
Great show. Go check it out if you haven't seen it already. All right. It is now time for our new segment, which we teased 42 minutes ago, and we were finally getting around to. I'm going to see if I can find some music here. Let's see here. Let's go. That we
Music.
won't get. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
we need music.
I don't want to jinx this while it's currently happening, but I'm feeling really good about our ability to be on time today.
I agree.
Oh. This is like the opening credits to this. It's like the Sims main menu music.
I have no idea. It's labeled as acoustic
what is it
cinematic.
called?
It's called acoustic cinematic. We can go through and you
Okay.
can pick your own music. We have dance pop.
I'm very confused by what's occurring. I don't think we can put Jack Antonoff core in the background in my Goodreads segment.
Daydreaming?
You didn't just hear that from my side, did you?
What?
Did you hear anything weird on my audio? Because there was a child that literally just wailed like a banshee outside.
No, I did not.
Like at the top of their lungs, but like a sustained several seconds.
No. Right, here's
Dang it.
daydreaming.
Maybe it'll catch that up.
This one's called Feeding the Ducks.
Oh, keep that energy. I love a duck. Love feeding the ducks. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen of the podcast, welcome to our newest segment that we are calling, temporarily at least, until we come up with a better name,
I had a couple of options too. Yeah.
Jordan's Goodreads Extravaganza.
Yeah, I was just pondering between a couple of options, which is the Goodreads gallery, the Goodreads garage. That didn't feel right, but it was like there's got to be some alliteration there. It's the same reason we need to still workshop your little Letterboxd corner. This is not going to be a recurring segment, I will tell you that, because I am so bad at consistently reading and updating my Goodreads. To put it in perspective, I set a goal for myself last year that I was going to read 50 books in 2023. I set that goal about halfway through the year and forgot about the little existential, sort of deadline that there's only 52 weeks in a year. So it was like, I have to read a book a week minus 2 weeks. And I started tracking in like July. So not possible. So I was there on like, December 31st, like hurriedly marking down my goal to like 30. So I've kept it at 30 this year, which feels attainable. I'm only a couple behind. But I usually get most done in the summer as well. So I just read a book I will share with you all. It is more in the horror thriller category, which feels appropriate for me based on my movie viewing history lately. It is called The Watchers by, I want to say it's A.M. Shine, but it could be A.M. Sheen. I believe this author is Irish, so I have no idea. It is soon to be a major motion picture by Ishana Night Shyamalan, which is why I had to Google how you spell M. Night Shyamalan to put it in my show notes, because that is M. Night Shyamalan's daughter. And if you will recall, we have love on a previous episode of the podcast for The Beach That Makes You Old, which is the movie Old by M. Night Shyamalan. So it's really all just one invisible string here throughout the entire podcast. But I'm looking forward to the movie because the book was really great. And I thought I love a book that is not a red herring, but it intentionally kind of distracts you from where it's going. So I thought I had the ending all figured out, and then there was a twist in it at the end, and it made the back half a lot better. I finished it in like one sitting. It was like, through I don't know how many pages. It's not super long, but I finished it in like one sitting because once it got to like a certain point, could not put it down. So if you want to be my friend on Goodreads, you can be my friend on Goodreads and motivate me to finish my reading goal this year instead of marking it down at the last minute. But I will watch that movie when it comes out, and maybe you will too, and we'll both put it on our Letterboxd, and we'll come back to this moment and be like, we liked that before it was cool. That's it. That's the end of my corner.
Oh, all right. Well, that's the end of that. I will. Here's my 2 cents on the Goodreads thing. You know me for a while at this point in time, right?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have you I either mentioned and or have you seen me reading a book?
It's the occurrence is low. The
Yeah,
incidence is low.
Mm-hmm. Not a reader guy. Not a reader guy. Never been a reader guy. I do actually, in my defense, I do like one book a year, and that's about it. That's pretty much it. And it's very dependent on the genre. 98% of the time, it's always nonfiction. I don't really do fiction stuff, not my thing. I like nonfiction a lot. So I had a free trial to Audible this year. So I was listening to the Oppenheimer book for most of this year.
I knew it was going to be American Prometheus. Yeah.
It's so good. It's like I won't dive anyway. The book is like so much more detailed than the movie. It's insane. Like the authors were just like it's a lot of times you can read biographies and it's very, I don't want to say surface level, but it's very this happened.
Yeah.
In this American Prometheus book, it's so well researched. I think it took them, they said 20 plus years to write and research. Like everything has, okay, here's what happened. And then a lot of it's like, here's the context to what happened from maybe other people's perspectives. And it's just like, it's terrific. Can't recommend enough. It's really long. The audiobook's like 24 hours. I'm still not even done with it, for goodness sake. Still have 2 hours left to go. So we're still working my way through that. And then I just bought, because I still had 1 credit left on Audible, I got a book that came out earlier this year about the history of the MCU. So I'm excited to dive into that too.
All right. I have a tough time with audiobooks. Do you like an audiobook?
I love audiobooks, yes, because I always listen to them if I'm driving. So it's like listening to a podcast. That's basically what it is.
Yeah.
It's like
I just have a tough time, and I know we've talked about this on previous episodes, but it's something about like the subtitles effect where like if I can't see what's in front of me, I don't process it very well. So if it's something that I actually am supposed to be paying attention to and I don't have words in front of me, I don't process it well. There's just
Mhm.
something about it for me that doesn't work. I tried, because typically you can get an audiobook a lot easier than you can get a hard copy. Like, you don't have to wait for it. Obviously, you could like digitally download, or if renting an audiobook is sometimes faster than getting the hard copy version from the library, but
Mhm.
it's not for me. I can't. I've always been more of like I need a hard written visual aspect. I'm not an auditory learner very well.
Yeah, see, that's so funny because it's the exact opposite of me, which is like I've always like actually reading stuff is like my attention span is garbage, and so like I'll just trail off, and I just so I've always been a visual and audio guy first, and so that's how like
All right.
that's why I'd rather watch a documentary than or watch a TV show and then instead of read it, type of thing. Like I'll never ever read Game of Thrones, but I'll spend 70 hours watching the TV show and be really disappointed about it in the end. So
Yeah, that is the downfall too, is like series that have really good books but kind of dicey film or TV adaptations. They're like, the book
mhm,
was so much better. You're like, I can't get into it that much.
mhm.
That is too dense for me.
All right, we have two more things to show you. This is on the show and tell portion of the show here. So
All right.
first off, we go back to our friend Nicole Kidman here. This might be a little bit tough to hear, but this is terrific. Nicole Kidman was honored with the AFI Lifetime Achievement Award, the American Film Institute Lifetime Achievement Award this week, and incredibly, Morgan Freeman was tasked with doing an ode to Dora and I's favorite Nicole Kidman AMC ad. So this is like bootlegged, but like you'll get the gist.
She takes us somewhere we've never been before. Not just entertained, but somehow reborn together. She dazzles on a huge silver screen, sound I can feel. Somehow she makes heartbreak feel good in a place like
Tastes
this.
like this.
She makes times feel like the best parts of us, and the stories feel perfect and powerful. Because here at AFI, she is Nicole Kidman.
Truer statement has never been rendered. Nicole Kidman makes movies better.
That's true. That's our president. That's our I don't know. Like she's like a founding father to movies now. Did she have anything to do with the original creation of the movies? No, but would they be complete without her introduction at the beginning? Not a chance. Not a chance. We
So
love
true.
Nicole Kidman on the show.
All right, I got one more thing for you, Jordan.
Mhm.
This happened during the IndyCar race on Sunday, and I teased it and I said,
On Sunday, as Sunday is today, as we're recording. But this is breaking news, guys, because this just happened like maybe an hour ago.
yes, this is the IndyCar race at Barber Motorsports Park in
Oh, there's
Alabama.
our friend Roman Grosjean in eighth.
Roman Grosjean, yes, former
Roman
former
Grosjean.
Formula One driver, as is Teo Porcher's in there too. He's a Formula Two champion. Um, and then there's a couple other. I think Marcus Ericsson, Formula One driver, and then he's not on the list, but Alexander Rossi is also a Formula One driver. He's there, but you can't see him. He was terrible today. He crashed. All right, here we go. So this is at Barber Motorsports Park, and there was a uninvited guest that found its way onto the track in the middle of the race. Here we go.
Uh-oh.
No, I think it's a full mannequin. Normally, she's tied up here, hanging down. As a little bit of tongue-in-cheek humor.
Oh, took out a wrist.
There she goes.
You gotta be kidding
Oh.
me! Oh my goodness!
And who was that was just driving by as it happened? That must have been quite
boy.
a shock.
That is so
Imagine if she
scary.
stuck the landing. Put this into the list of things you don't see at a racetrack. By the way, her name is George.
She has a name? This is a known object?
Georgina. Yeah, I had no idea Georgina existed until today, but yeah,
What is the history with Georgina?
I have no idea. It was
Why do people know who she is? This is like a known object.
Yeah, I did not know Barber Motorsports Park is like one of the more well-known IndyCar circuits in the country. It's apparently very, very beautiful there and awesome to go see a race there. But this is one of their biggest attraction. They have a massive spider that you can go see in the infield.
Pass. Hard pass.
Yeah,
Absolutely not.
and then
No.
Georgina, who was tied to the bridge there. So
This is I'm Googling this right now. Apparently this was Santino Ferrucci who drove by as it was falling, apparently. And then on his team radio, and he said that lady hanging from the bridge fell. And the crew chief or whatever it was like, yeah, 10-4, just keep doing what you're doing. It's like, whoa, must have been so scary. Apparently all of the, sculptures and stuff are, like you said, there's a sense of humor there at the motorsports park. And it says, quote, put her right over the middle of the track, Barber says in the AL.com story. I want the drivers to be able to see her. They'll go around that turn and think there's somebody hanging off the bridge. What kind of twisted? That is so scary that you would think that. Like we're building a racetrack here. We're not building Halloween Horror Nights. This is not designed to be a jump scare. This is so scary. I can't imagine being the driver and going past that at full speed and not knowing whether that was a person or not.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. No, thank you.
So that happened today. All right, what else do we have? We have there's 2 more things you have listed on the dock here that we can go through super quick. It says, I have a surprise tweet to read you because I want your live reaction.
I did already. We covered that.
Okay.
I got you. That was the Saltburn Challengers crossover that felt your brand.
Mm-hmm.
We can go on the stupidest thing that I saw today. The Banshee Child is back.
Banshee Child.
I'm so surprised you can't hear that because it's so loud. Like I have an AirPod in and I can really hear it, and my air conditioning's on. She's loud. She's mad about something. It's Georgina. So the dumbest thing that I saw today is that apparently, I don't know how valid this is. I will not try it because I don't fancy a trip to the emergency room on this Sunday. But apparently, if you take a light bulb, like a standard size light bulb, and you put it in your mouth, it will go in, but it won't come out because I guess when there's a reflex, when it hits the back of your teeth, that it like makes your jaw lock up and you can't get it out because you can't open your jaw any wider. Now, I had a couple of questions about this, one of which I answered because I was like, that feels stupid. Like if you put the metal side in your teeth, like you're going to be able to get that back out. You know what I mean? Like that's not the wide part. So you have to go in bulb side first. Debatably stupid decision. But I guess the only way that you can get that out really is like they either have to sedate you and like force your jaw open somehow, you know what I mean? Like you have to overcome the reflex. Or 2, the bulb's going to shatter. And then all of that stuff that's inside of a light bulb goes all over the inside of your mouth. And I just don't think that they would find all the pieces. I tried to look this up. Hank Green, who is a very trusted, dear source, valid source of information to all of us. Hank Green says he does not know whether it's true because human anatomy, like some people are going to have wider jaws than others. So like theoretically it should be possible. But he's like, I will not be trying it. I don't encourage you to try this at home. So with that said, have a light bulb. I'm just kidding. I'm not doing that.
No.
Oh
God. No.
I'm not doing that. No. We don't need to see that on the podcast.
Oh, you scared the
I already
crap out of me there for a second.
got stitches. We're not doing that. But this is my thought. That's like if you go in this way, no big deal. You could put this in your mouth.
I've done that.
If you go right, that's not. Yeah, you hold it like that sometimes if you're like going to change a light bulb.
Yeah,
like you're up on the ladder.
I used to do it at my parents' house. Like if I am to make it easier, instead of holding, I've done and put the metal in the thing, and kind of
Mhm.
hold
Right.
the piece like that,
Right.
right?
That feels
And
possible.
then on the light bulb, and then blah 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 blah, whatever. Instead of putting it in my pocket,
But it
whatever.
is,
Done that before.
if you go this way with it, that reflex when the wide part hits the backside of your teeth is apparently what does the damage. So don't do this.
That's your PSA,
Don't.
ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, don't send us
Leave
your
your light
videos.
bulbs
TikTok,
in
don't
the
you
light
dare
fi-
do this.
Don't. Leave your light bulbs in the light fixtures where they belong, or give it to a professional who will not put it in their mouth the wrong side forward. Thank you.
Can I will end on one more light bulb related thing. So I
Yeah.
have the light bulbs in my bathroom scare me sometimes, because they'll flicker on and off
Mhm.
like during the day, and sometimes, and I'll be like, what the hell is going on in there? So pretty sure my apartment is haunted.
Well, you know who wanted to be a paranormal investigator when they were a child? I can help you with that. Let me go get my EMF meter real quick.
Come on down.
We'll fix
Next-
this real quick.
Next time you come on down to the beautiful streets of Glendale, Arizona.
Mhm. Yeah, don't you worry about it. We'll get that sorted real quick.
All right, everybody, that's going to do it for this episode. My Wi-Fi actually, I feel like hung on pretty good this time.
Yeah, you did a great job. It was
As
great
many
today.
warnings. No 270p. You can actually see me
Nope.
this week, so that was terrific. I got Jordan Bingo this week. Finally, after 2+ months of trying, at least.
2 episodes, 2 months. You know, just saying.
Follow us at OHOBC Pod wherever you get your shows. Thank you for checking us out on YouTube and on TikTok and all that jazz. And we'll be back with you next week. Until then, have a blessed day, everybody.